All right, so Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm gonna start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. First I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom. All right, so Lord willing through the Spirit, right? I want to go into this lesson, Lord willing, they gonna say they're gonna be alone, and say they're gonna be a short, we flow through the Spirit in a sense, right? Lord willing is edified. But I came across this post right here, scrolling through Instagram, and right, and I don't know what person it is, whatever, whatnot, but Lord, we're gonna use it for edification purposes, right? So it says, somebody made this post. It says, voted for Donald Trump, and I got war, right? Israel, I don't know, they're saying Israel first, Israel flag first, I don't know what that's meaning. Higher gas. He naming the cons of what happened when he voted for Trump, right? He says higher gas, large deficits, more spending, higher grocery, higher clothing, higher vehicle prices, right? All these prices are going up for the food, the clothing, the vehicle, the house, and all of it, right? 401k losses, investments down, devaluation of the dollar, and this is key right here, because when you understand that, how they trying to usher in that MOTB, right? How they trying to usher in that new world order, they trying to devalue the dollar, right? Which the dollar losing its value day by day. They want to turn everything to a digital system. Trump just said that. Don't mean the brother talk about it account. Matter of fact, for my other phone real fast, I'm gonna search it up, right? Let's see. It was a video. I don't know, Apostle Rumble, I had played it, but I had searched it up at account. Let me see if I can find exactly what it was at account a few days ago. Bear with me. How do you see your history on the phone? I don't even know how to work the phone no more. Let's see. Okay. But in a sense, he said this year though, right? But it says Donald Trump has pivoted. I typed in Trump saying he want to go crypto. Donald Trump has pivoted to strongly support cryptocurrency, declaring his intention to make the United States the crypto capital of the world and a Bitcoin superpower. His plans include establish a national strategic Bitcoin reserve, utilizing seized assets and fostering a made in America crypto industry to compete with China, right? I want to go to the, let's see. I forgot what I typed in when we was at camp for it to come up. Gave me a better answer. Okay, here it is, right? Here it is, right? So I typed in Trump saying he want to go crypto, turn everything digital. Right? So it says, based on information from early 2025 through April 2026, President Donald Trump has officially pursued a policy of making the United States crypto capital of the planet, a Bitcoin superpower, which is read. His administration has taken steps to integrate digital assets to the financial system. Through the reports, he is focused on the digital dollar model rather than a completely. So you see how that goes into that MOTB, right? And we know Esau is cunning, crafty, right? He's more subtle than anything of the field, right? And I'm gonna finish this. I said the valuation of the dollar. It says, and at the end it says, I'm effing retarded. Most High, I'm sorry, right? Lord willing, now I'm read that. We're gonna get into the precepts. But as you seeing, Esau was crafty and cunning, right? They know how to get up there. Let's see. right? This Psalms 55 and 21, right? It says, Psalm 55 and 21, right? It says, the words of his mouth were smooth than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords, right? Because Esau know how he's crafting, he's cunning. Esau know how to tell you what you want to hear. Esau know how to speak cool, speak smooth and crafty unto you, to get you to false way, to get you to vote for him. And when you understand that, you know, the president is never elected, he's selected, he's chosen, right? You know, when you go back to the Roman Empire, they, you know, the first triumvirate, they made the Senate House, things that such, right? With 300 people in power would meet, and they would choose one person to rule every year. That's the first Maccabees have 8 and 15. That's what made them diverse. And we know America mimics that. Remember, it does everything in that sense, right? Let's go to Revelation 13, right here, verse 11, right? It says, "Not beheld another beast come up out of the earth," talking about America. He had 2 horns like a lamb. That's the Democrat Republic, right? And he spake as a dragon, his draconian system, his draconian ways, right? He says he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, which causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose death was healed. Who's that first beast? Death was healed. The Roman Empire, which they fell and came back through the Renaissance, right? You know, So, just continue reading down, right? And once again, America mimics all those ways. Continue reading down. He says that he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on earth inside of men, the missiles, bombs, things that such, right? This kind of the point is where right here, verse 14 says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast," right? So Esau is blessed how he trick everybody with his miracles, man. With his miracles, right? He's blessed to be able to do those miracles, his technocracy, right? He's blessed to be able to do those things, blessed to be able to trick you and deceive you by these things. And the world has been deceived and tricked. Now they see it. You see the post, right? You see the post. You said he's a retard, right? Because they've been tricked and deceived. Right now the world's starting to see. Now the elect has been seeing who the Most High has been revealed who the wicked is to this chosen, right? But now the world's starting to see it. I always say that covering cast that Esau had, that covering veil they had over everybody's face where they couldn't see, is been uplifted, right? So it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do inside of men. It's like in the sight of beasts, right? Matthew 24:24, it speaks about how it's like, bear with me. That speaks on how let's grab it real fast. We're gonna hold it, we can come back. Matthew 24 verse 24, right? It says, for there shall rise false Mashiach, false Christ, and false prophets, which you see, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much, if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. If it were possible, it's not possible, right? But in a sense, these guys come with these miracles, they come with these great signs and wonders that they deceive the people. See, Trump came and told them all these good things, these good words. Remember, his words were smooth as butter. He came and spoke to people in good things and good manner. People fell for it, right? I'm going to go back to Revelation, but I want to go to this real fast because I quoted. Remember, this that same serpent from the garden, right? It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh powers, right? Where the powers, Elohim powers had made, right? And the woman's, and he said to the woman, Yahweh said, it's like he said to the woman, the power said you should not eat of every tree of the garden, right? So he's more subtle. Let's go to that word subtle, right? Subtle, right? Let's see. Subtle meaning, right? Subtle meaning is an object. Subtle, often spelled, is an objective meaning, delicate, faint, elusive, or crafty, often implying a skill or deception that is hard to detect. It describes something thin, like air, acute, pain, or willy behavior. In the Bible, it typically means crafty and cunning. So he's able to trick and you can't detect it. See, Jake couldn't detect it, right? Because Esau got him drunk. Remember, the Most High said that he put people in the strong to lose, they believe a lie. So Esau got him drunk, and that's why he forced that cup to him. Habakkuk 2, verse 14 on down. He forced him to drink that cup, and he get him deceived and tricked. He make him follow the ways. You know, he get him to follow those ways. He trick him up. You know what I'm saying? And once he get a hold to him, then that's when you see, but in his mouth was 2 swords. That's when you see it, right? Let's go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that Psalms one more time real fast. Actually, I'm gonna turn this on. Slack you for notifications that may pop up. I want to go to the NL. I want to read it in NLT. Cause you see it, man. You know, you see how, you know, Esau's trick, and the people are seeing that. You know, the people are seeing that. Even their own selves are seeing it. They don't even want to fight for this man, right? They don't even want to fight for this place, right? This Psalms 55 and 21, right? It says his words are as smooth as butter, but in his heart, in his mind, is war. That's his whole objective. His words are as soothing as lotion, but underneath are daggers. You know, he trick you and deceive you. That's how his word is. He's smooth with it, right? You know, he got up there and tricked people in, but he knew his whole agenda. See, Trump is a puppet. That's why you got to understand. Trump is a puppet, you know. We're going to go back to Revelation 13, but Trump is a puppet, man. You know, behind the scenes, you really have those elite, that secret council. By the fact, it's like him all over the place, just flowing through the spirit. Lousy speller. And you know, you want to spell something, especially when I'm doing a lesson. Apple don't want to. Right? This is Psalm 64. This is Psalm 64 in verse 2. I start at verse 1. Right? It says, to the chief musician, Psalms of David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Talking about Esau, you know, right? Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. You know, because you have those elites, you have the ones behind the scenes who really running things. You know, you have the ones behind the scenes who really running things, really calling the shot. The Trump is the puppet and he doing what he tell them to do. Ultimately, it's all the Most High plan, right? But you have these ones. You remember the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. The Most High ruled in the kingdom of man, Daniel 4:17, but he puts whoever he will, really paraphrasing. He set up over the basis of men, meaning the law of the low. Job 31, who they're talking about, the Edomites, right? The viller of the earth, the trash of the earth, man. They're nothing, you know, right? He said, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to arrows to shoot arrows, even bitter words, right? That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, so that they shoot at him and fear not, right? Because these people, they hide behind the scenes. You don't see them. Right, but these are the ones who I showed it before, a little picture in the lesson. So on Instagram, I showed like a hierarchy. It was like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, then it was underneath them like the Freemasons, this and that. Right, you know, you see that though. Right? You see that though. Right, this hierarchy of Satan. You know, it's Psalm 64. It's like I'm going to high up. Verse 1 in NLT says, "O power, listen to my complaint. Listen to my complaint. Protect my life from the enemy's threats. Hide me from the plots, from this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. They shoot from the ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fiercely." Because Esau good at setting Jake up. How they did with Trump. Came and let Trump speak good thing. I remember Trump had a so-called Mexican. I want to say that's a tribe of. I want to say that's Gad. Let me see. Just to correct myself, I don't want to say it. So we get wrong. Now that's the Indians. The so-called Mexicans are Issachar, Slaki. Tribe of Issachar. You see how it was Issachar woman, right? She's up there. Yeah, Trump. Look what he doing to him, deporting him, because it was all part of the plan, right? You know, ultimately it's all how about Shao plan, but he working those left hand spirits through them. They are the wicked. He had those secret councils behind the scenes who working things. But how about Shem outside is giving us the light to see, you know? He gives us the light to see. So the elect men, the men of Yahweh outside, we see his word. Like he said, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant of his plans, his way. He can't get us. But he done got those 2/3 and the rest of the world. He got them. And now those people are feeling ashamed from believing him, trusting him. Because Esau don't profess himself to be a God, and everybody done put their trust in the men. Right? But the scripture say, well, let's grab that. Let me see. Jeremiah 17:5. Right? It said, This saith the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh his like a flesh his arm, whose heart departed from the Lord, heart going to mine. Right? Because he trusted it. Majority of this world trusted in man. That's why you think he's saying, in the picture, what he said, Most High, I'm sorry. Right? Because he put his trust in man. Now he's starting to see the shame of it. Now he's starting to feel the shame of it. Right? Because they don't put their trust in man, and now it's backfiring on them. And now that's why Jeremiah 51, it says it, right? The nations are mad, right? Jeremiah 51 and verse 7, it says, Babylon have been the golden cup in the Lord's hand, because the Most High raised them up to what they are. They going around presenting themselves as guys, act like they just doing all this on their own account. Nah, the Most High working on the left hand spirits through them. They think they're doing righteous work. They're doing the work, so they're doing the left hand side, right? When they starting to get too much, they start to think they more than what they is. They don't put this, and through these miracles, right? Matthew 24:24, through these miracles, these signs and wonders, they got the world believing that too. We're going to get back to that revelation though, right? It says Babylon had to been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. Everybody drunk out there fornication. The nations have drunk enough for wine, they fell for it. Like, let me take a sip of that with y'all. Let me get in this party with y'all, right? Therefore the nations are mad. Why the nations are mad? Because it's backfiring on them. They seeing trusting in these people, these devils, right? They've been revealed. It's backfiring on the people. But now these people that already made the bed with these people, so now it's hard for them to get away. That's why the Most High been saying, depart from not your rest, right? Depart. That's why the Most High's got to bring this place down, because he got the whole world deceived. Babylon was set up to show the world wickedness and the judgment behind it, and it's doing just that. Got everybody caught up in deceived in it. Everybody turned their back on Yahweh Shem Shah, right? Then they created Esau, to create these false gods, and create these false, and then created all this bullshit going on in everybody's mind and delusion and gone, right? So and Esau know to come in and sweep them up to control them. He know to come in and play with their head so he can usher in his system. That's why David said, hide me from the secret council, man. Right? Those ones behind the scene. Right? But I want to get back into that serpent, that same serpent from the garden. Right? I think it's might be Revelation 16. Bear with me. Let me see. Bear with me. I know I'm gonna grab Revelation 20, but I want another one I wanted to grab too, which go to see with the whole world. Okay, come right here. This is Revelation 12 and verse 9. When you understand this, the great dragon is speaking of the Roman Empire at the time, but the Roman Empire back in the day, those same Edomites, right? All Edomites, right? But this Revelation 12 verse 9 says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, because it was that serpent from the garden, right? Called the devil and Satan, because Satan just mean what? Adverse. He opposite. That's why he said, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, he opposed himself against everything that's called God, because he had to do the total opposite of what the Most High said, right? He said, with deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out to earth and angels with him. That's talking about his army, right? But in a sense, you see this devil, which is who? Esau, Edom. This devil, he's cunning, crafty. That's that same serpent from the garden who's subtle, right? He can easily trip people up. We look at the title of it, said it's hard for you to detect. Many people won't see it. So you gotta have the light of Yahweh Shem Shah to see it, right? If you ain't got the light of Yahweh Shem Shah, you won't see it. You won't detect his crafting, his cunning, his deception, his deceivableness. You won't see it. Grab one more real fast. Revelation 20 and verse 2, it says that he laid hold on the dragon, right? Referring to the Roman Empire again, because when they fell and Jake came and ruled, but he said he laid hold on the dragon, which those Edomites, the Roman Empire, those Edomites, right, which is back in the day, revised Roman Empire, NATO, EU, America, right? That old serpent, where it goes again, which is devil and Satan, because those are titles for him. The Edomites, those are titles for him. That serpent was in the garden, that same evil serpent, man, which is here today, still being cunning, crafty, still getting people to bite. And when it says eat, when it said eat, she ate thereof, I mean to learn, getting people to learn the ways of evil. They still pushing out that evil scheme. They still doing the opposite of what Yahweh Shem Shah said, even going all the way back to the garden. They're still moving in that same manner. Now they got the world deceived and tricked in it. Well, now the world is starting waking up, and they're starting to realize what they've done. The world's starting to realize they turned their back on the true powers, Yahweh Shem Shah, and had they faith in men, now it's backfiring on them. This Psalms 58 and verse 2 or verse 3, Slock, he said, the wicked are estranged from the womb. Who's the wicked? Malachi 1:4 tells you the Edomites are the wicked. The earth is in the hands of the wicked. Who run the earth? The so-called white man. That secret council. Once again, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, right? Those ones behind the scenes. There's plenty more, right? It's more of those top banking families, right? It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray soon as they be born, speaking lies. All they do. It says they're poison like the poison of a serpent. Was that same serpent from the garden, man? Right? That same serpent from the garden. That's what they do. That's who they are. That devil, that subtle creature. And if you and like Elder Apostle Gabar said, to be truly learned, you got to be as a serpent. I think he did a lesson on that, if I'm not mistaken. But to be truly learned, you got to be as a serpent, because you won't see his ways. Remember, his signs and wonders, he deceived the whole world. He do signs and wonders so good that if it were possible, he'd be able to see the very elect. But ain't nothing gonna pull the elect away from Yahweh Shai Shai. But think about it. If you ain't got to love Yahweh Shai Shai, then you cook, right? If you ain't got to love Yahweh Shai Shai, if you ain't got to knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Shai Shai, the light of Yahweh Shai Shai, then you're cooked, man. You over with, right? So that's another. Oh, let's go back to Revelation, right? So now we understand what he's going to deceive the whole world, his miracles he can do, right? Revelation 13:14 again says that he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast. Because Esau done all these miracles, done all these things, right? He made people feel in the comfort to trust him. Esau knows fear is a controlling tactic, right? Let me see. Search that up. Fear is a controlling I tightened it. Fear is a controlling tactic, meaning. He said fear as a controlling tactic is deliberate use of intimidation, anxiety, threats to manipulate behavior, secure obedience, or maintain power over individuals or a population. And this is what Esau used. He used to fear the people, because when prices go up, all these type of things, what people want to do? People gonna run to who they feel who got a solution. And what is these Edomite solution? What is these people's solution? The MOTB. Hey, if y'all want these things to work out, you want things to go good, hey, get this chip in your hand. Everything will be back to normal for you. What they say, they're gonna think themselves in good case. They're gonna feel like everything good. You know what I'm saying? Esau know how to work his motive, not work his narrative, right? But ultimately, you understand this is the plan of those elites who running Trump. See, they like, damn, we put our trust in Trump. Now you put your trust in these wicked people, all in general. Yeah, you might say you not there. That's why we don't vote. They don't say we don't vote. It don't matter, man. The president's not elected. He's selected. He groomed up to be the president, man. Right? So this is verse 14 again. It says, and deceivers them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live, right? And that because that rise from empire, he came back, So now Esau is moving and enforcing all those same policies and all those same ways, man. NATO, right? America runs all this. When the United Nations, NATO, when they go sit down and speak, America's in that top seat, the rise of empire. What America say goes, what America goes for, that's what everybody else going for, right? That's that great whore, right? I want to go some more on those miracles real quick. Revelation 16 should be around verse 13. He says, I saw 3 unclean spirits like the frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. That's about the Roman Empire, right? So you got Vatican City, right? With the false prophet, the religious part of this rise from empire. You have London, I think the city-state of London, which is the financial headquarters. Then you got London, UK. You got city-state of London. All that is its financial headquarters. Then you got the Pentagon, Langley, Virginia, right across from Washington. That's the military headquarters of the rise from empire, man. Right? That's those 3 unclean spirits. He said, come out of the mouth of the dragon, which is the Roman Empire. Now the mouth of the beast, which is NATO, EU, America. Right? And now the mouth of the false prophet. That's the Vatican City, Roman Catholic Church. That's that false prophet. He said, for they're the spirit of devils. When you go into the Vatican Baptiste, right? As prophets of the serpent, right? Let's see. break the word down for you, right? So Vatican, right? Prophets of the serpent. Vati, V-A-T-I, goes back to the Latin word vatis, which means prophet. And can is the Mayan word for snake, right? So this is prophet of the serpent, right? Which is who? That same serpent from the garden. This wicked, the Edomites. These who they are, right? Vatican City. And the devil, Satan, you know, the titles for it, right? This is who they are, right? It says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth to the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to battle of the great day of the power Almighty, right? Which is, you know, that war in heaven, right? You know, but this is what they do, right? And verse 15 says, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches to keep his garment. What's his garment? This knowledge, understand this truth. It said, lest he walk naked and they see his shame, right? Because you got to understand, if you ain't got the garments of Yahweh Shem Shah, right? What is as Ephesians chapter 6 speaks about, right? You know, the block of faith, the shield of faith, the garments to protect yourself. Guess what? Esau gonna deceive you and trick you, man. He gonna get you, which he got the people, because they not it. Those 2/3, the rest of these nations, the rest of these people. Well, speaking of these 2/3 only, because the Hebrew Israelites are the only one who can receive this knowledge, receive the spirit. No one else, right? But Esau got this whole world and the 2/3, I should say, in his deception, in his allure, right? So now they put their trust in these people, because why? They deceived by these miracles, the things they do, right? But now they seeing this backfiring on them. Now they seeing their whole objective is to what? To get themselves rich, to get their pockets fatter, and make themselves higher in ranking, right? That's why they got bunkers for themselves, man. They ain't worried about the people. People drop bombs and things on this place, man. Them elites gonna run to them bunkers, and they really feel like they can repopulate the earth through their own seed. That's why they got the bunkers built. They know what's to come, right? So, again, you see it, right? You know, he said, I'm a effing retard, man. How I'm sorry. They want to apologize now. But what the Most High say? You know, how long you be simple, man? You know, these people are just men. They profess in your face their God because they give you a few dollars. They do a few little miracles in front of your face, upgrade you a new phone every other year. They do all these things, man. People start trusting in them, right? But shame to you who trust in Egypt, man. Right? So let's go to that. So we'll close out with that, right? Okay, I'm gonna read Isaiah 31 first, right? Then I'm gonna go to Isaiah 30. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help." Right? What's the modern day Egypt? America, right? Spiritually Sodom and Egypt, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not into the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. They don't. They trust in Esau. You know, they trust in his ways. Now they seeing his backfiring on them. Nations are mad. It's backfiring on them. The 2/3 are mad. He's seeing they should have trusted in Yahweh Shem Shah. Wisdom of Solomon 5 speaks on that, right? Matter of fact, let's grab that. Matter of fact, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. I start at verse 2. It says, when they see it, it's going into the strangers of our salvation, right? It said, when they see it, they shall be, it's in the mindset of the wicked. He said, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangers of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for, because they put their trust in Esau. You know, they ain't trust in the men who on the highways and byways doing the lessons videos with 100% truth, which is GMS, started Elder Pastor on down. They ain't trusting them. They ain't looking like, damn, bro, he tried to tell us. I seen this video out the north. I seen him on the highways and byways. I seen him. You know, I should just listen to him. Right? It says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and the power of reproach. Because this the ones we seen and we disrespect and we clown them. We should listen to them. We trusted the Esau Edom because, man, the white man, Uncle Ruckus ass niggas, man. White man gonna make a way. The white man this, the white man that. Right? It says, we fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh? His lives among the saints. And all Israelites are the saints, but right now the elect are only the ones who call to be saints, man. And most times don't do the elect on this side, and they gonna see that. That's why the mindset of the wicked, he gonna see that, right? I wonder if we want to go to the part right here. Matter of fact, I just read that. It says, therefore we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. And nobody, they ain't that dark. Isaiah 62, they gross darkness, man. They grope darkness. That's why Esau got him. You know, Esau showed him a false light. You know, soon as Esau get them to come towards him, guess what they do? Esau wrap them up and tie them up. They can't get away from it. It said, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, following after Esau, Edom on them. Right? Mine says the wicked, especially these 2/3. It said, we have gone through deserts where they lay no, where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. What hath pride profited us? What good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and the post that has and as a post that hasted by, man. So they realize it's the mindset of the wicked, especially these 2/3. They realize, like, damn, what the fuck? We should have listened. We trusted in the money. We trusted in this, all that. You know, when gas prices were high, we couldn't get by. We had to do this, and we took the chip, thinking that everything's gonna be good. We was gonna be straight, but they was telling us not to. And we did it, but all this shit destroyed and gone. Now look, you know, right? So let's go back to Isaiah 31 real fast and read it one more time. It's very woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Talking about America, if you can receive it and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. That's why it's called what scriptures tell you. What good is the hope for things you see? We hope for things not seen. We hope for the kingdom. We hope for deliverance. Right? That's why we got faith, man. That's why I said you keep your faith to the end, you're gonna be saved. Jake ain't got no faith and he ain't got no patience, right? It says, because they are very strong, but they look down into the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his word, but will rise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are man and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, and both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hopeth shall fall down, they shall all fail together, man. Right? They gonna see that. They seeing that now. All his plans and schemes is backfiring on them. Now they going through the pain, discretion that we told you about. Jacob's trouble, how the world gonna be in anguish, how he's gonna come upon remember, it's temptation gonna come upon everybody. Esau, they come with a sword, right? You know, and you see Trump already deporting. He already sending he's messing with the Northern Kingdom on the Southern Kingdom, now sending them out, right? The war's going on, World War III ramping up. You know, the MOTB gonna come. All this, man, we've been telling you about this, but you ain't never trusted in the spirit of Yahweh Shah. You never trusted Yahweh Shah. You trusted in man because he perfects you as a God through his miracles and all his smooth words and that such. Hey, woe to them that trusted in man, right? So let's read this right here, Isaiah 30, right, before we close it out, right? This is Isaiah 30, starting at verse 1, going down to verse 3, Lord willing, right? So it says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit. That's the only one that's going to keep you safe. Remember, it says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, really paraphrasing, right? He who run into it shall dwell safely. The name of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, right? They done created all these faults, they done did all these things, so now you don't got that cover, right? It said that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. Who is that? Trump, and that Isaiah 19, I said over them, cruel Lord. That's that cruel Lord. Now he on them. He done spoke to him good. Oh yeah, we gonna do this and that for y'all. Now the people are going through it, man. It says, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt you are confused, and people lost. People don't know what's going on. It ain't shameful now. It should listen to the chosen men Yahweh Shah. And it's only and they shame only gonna show more and more these last days. You should have trusted in Yahweh Shah. You should have stayed faithful. Now you seeing that they cut that wine they was giving you was spiked with poison. Now you lollygagging, you calling for help. Somebody, nah. Hey, remember, and like I always reiterate, you don't see the Lord while He's near, because the truth is still out. Videos still going up, birds still on the highways and byways. So the Most High is still here. His mercy is still here. You better get right before it's too late. All that trusting in East, trusting in Pharaoh, these modern day Esau, is a modern day Egyptians, right? You trusting in them, and now you see this backfire on you. Now wake up. That veil is being lifted for a reason. The Most High is showing you signs. These signs are one is showing you we at the end of this thing, right? These people, hey, Esau, his veil is being lifted up. Hey, either you like El Apostle Gabar said in it's like El Apostle Hart said in the lesson thing he posted yesterday. Man, if you can't see the end of this thing, man, you a fool, man. If you continue trusting them people, guess what? You're gonna go down with a sword of destruction right along with them, man. Right? You know? So Lord willing, right? Matter of fact, I'll close out that in NLT. Isaiah 30. Just looking for notifications, man. This is Isaiah 30, starting verse 1 in NLT. It says, "What sorrow awaits my rebellious children, says the Lord Yahweh. You make plans that are contrary to mine. You make alliances not directed by my spirit, that is piling up your sins. For without consulting me, you have gone down to Egypt for help. You have put your trust in Pharaoh's protection. You have tried to hide in his shade," right? But by trusting Pharaoh, you will be humiliated, and by depending on him, you will be disgraced, man. Get from me whence I know you not who you are. I don't know you. That's what most I gonna tell you when the time comes. I don't know you. Go run to your slave master. Go run to that slave master if he's gonna save you, man. Cause that's who you trust in. And now it's already, as you can see, now it's already backfired. Now they already apologizing. Now they already this was April 6th this year. This was this year, man. They seeing it, right? They seeing now it's hurting them. Now they trying to return back. Nah, man. Lord willing, you of the elect. Most High put the spirit on you to get right. Hey, shalom, right? Meaning peace to you. But hey, other than that, you 2/3 we've been telling you. So now your shame is showing. Now you be humiliated by depending on him, and you will be disgraced, man. Right? So that's what it is, right? The strength of Pharaoh shall be your shame, man. Right? It's gonna be your shame. Because ultimately you understand that the elect, right? And King David said he prayed to the Father, cover me. Let me find that real fast. Close it out. Slacky, man. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. All right. Okay, Con. It's 2 on. So they go to Psalm, says 18. Actually, I want the one at 57. That's a good one too. Psalm 18 one. I think it's 57 one I'm looking for. Con. So this Psalm 57 and 1. We'll close it out, right? It says, to the chief musician Seth mission of David, when he fled from Saul in the cave, be merciful unto me, O power. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yet in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge, until these calamities be overpassed, man. So you make our refuge in the wings of Yahweh outside. Because now to understand the truth, his covering, right? He got his elect protected. That's who we trust in. We don't trust in trouble. We don't care about these hard times of what's going on. We don't care about none of it. We trust in Yahweh outside, and Lord willing, soon to be delivered, man. And keeping that patience, because we understood the suffering, the pain, the hardship that we're gonna have to face. We understood it. We ain't run from it. So Lord,